Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going over why you need to consider going no contact with your narcissist. I'm telling you, this is, in my opinion, the only way that you're ever going to heal. And I'm still working on healing, okay? And I've been no contact for over 5 years. And I'm still trying to figure some of this out. But I'm going to share with you today my experience with trying to do everything else that I could think of besides going no contact and why it didn't work. My mom had a hold on me financially, emotionally, psychologically. So if you're going through any of those fears, believe me, I understand. It's not like this is an easy thing to do. It's going to take some time. But if you want to take the steps to healing, you need to start anticipating that going no contact is, in my opinion, the only way. So as I was getting older and into my mid to late teens, I finally started to understand a little bit that things didn't feel right. You know, for a long time, my training was our relationship was based on love and respect. So because those words had been preached to me enough, I just believed them. But as I was starting to get older, things weren't adding up. So my first attempt was to start to stand up for myself. So I'd say, Mom, what you said the other day was, I felt like hypocritical, and here's the reasons why. And I'd just kind of approach that topic, and she would stop me in my tracks, and she'd kind of say, whoa, let's talk about this, but let's talk about this later. So later meant we're going to wait 4 or 5 hours so you have some time to think about this, and then we'll talk, which also meant she has time to formulate her plan. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but my mom's an attorney. So she's a little bit good at making her case, right? So I'm kind of dealing with a professional in arguing. And this happened every single time. And it was like, I couldn't, even though I knew it was going to end like this, I couldn't stop doing it because it was the only thing I knew. I was mad about something she did. I'd try to tell her about it, and she'd just deny it. She'd just deny it. And then in order for me to stop getting berated and feeling like an idiot, I'd have to just apologize. Like a heartfelt apology. Like she'd make me go, Mom, I'm really sorry. You're right. I wasn't listening. And in order for me to walk away. So standing up for myself didn't work. Tried that for years, and it just got me nowhere. So I got married, moved out. My wife and I got an apartment together. Felt great, felt liberating, get some space. Didn't work. In fact, it just made it more difficult because then my mom's like, oh, what am I gonna do? I'm alone in the house. I can't do anything for myself. Will you come help? Come help. I can't reach the light bulbs to change them. I can't do this or whatever. Again, the conditioning was so strong. So while I can sit here and I kind of laugh at the idea of like, well, I have a choice and my choice is no, understand that that was not an option back then. At least I didn't understand it to be an option. So yes, I created some distance, but now with that distance came more guilt because now I had to drive to her house to fix something and then drive back. Not only that, but then she would start calling up, oh, I miss you. I miss just having dinner, just you and I. Maybe you and I could go out for dinner. And she would basically just ask that my wife stay at home and her and I meet up for dinner. She knows that when I'm around her that I'm weak. And so she would do whatever she could to isolate me away from my wife, who was somebody who would not put up with her BS and would help me kind of navigate it. She'd just try to isolate me. So moving out didn't really work. Okay. So then my wife and I are looking for a house, and we decide, you know what, let's just move across the country. We're kind of both tired of dealing with our moms. This has been crazy, and we're looking for a fresh start, and we're looking for a place we can afford. And so by this point, we know what narcissism is. A big part of our move across the country was because we realized who she was this malignant narcissist. But just knowing that was not enough for me to understand that no contact was the only way. I thought creating more distance would work. But giving my mom room to infiltrate was the worst thing I could do, because now not only have I created distance and pissed her off, but now I'm trying to make two parties happy. I'm trying to listen to my wife, who I know has the best interest for me, truly, right? Versus my mom, who says she has the best interest for me. And I'm trying to make both parties happy. I'm trying to start my new life with my wife, who I love and actually do respect, and trying to make my mom happy so that way she will just leave me alone. And all the while, I'm just making myself crazy. Like, I'm so unhappy trying to make everybody else happy that I'm just miserable. I was absolutely miserable. And that was finally the breaking point. It was, it was out of so much fear and anxiety that I finally hit a wall, and I had to make a choice. And I was not going to jeopardize my relationship with my wife. That much was clear to me, that I was the happiest I had ever been, moving away, being with my wife, starting this new life, and so vehemently unhappy every time my mom was part of the conversation. Oh, my mom sent me this text, or my mom sent me this letter, or my mom sent us some money in the mail. That was almost like the worst thing ever. My mom would send us money knowing that we had, moved across the country and I started a new job and we were trying to buy a house. She'd do whatever she could to try to buy her way back into my life, knowing that we were struggling. Again, trying to use that financial dependency. In fact, my wife and I had finally bought our first house here, and I hadn't decided to go no contact yet. My wife was pregnant, and my mom wanted to come out and see us. Stupidly, I agreed. She came out. Literally, the day that we moved into the new house was the day that she came, and we figured out that our kitchen in the house that we had just bought was basically infested with mice. I'm not even going to get started on all of that, but that was the situation, okay? We start kind of moving the fridge, the dishwasher, there's mice nests everywhere. It's a disaster. My mom offered to basically buy a whole kitchen remodel. She was like, oh, I'll just loan you the money and you can just pay me back whenever. It was exactly at that moment that I said no. Not only did I say no to her, I said, Mom, absolutely not. This is our experience. We're going to figure this out together. But in my head, I said, I'm done. I was not going to be putting my family into her debt, thinking that there would be anything except guilt for the rest of my life involved with that. After she left, I think it was just a few more months of kind of mulling it over and, just doing the same old, well, I'm not that kind of person, and, I really would like to have a relationship with her. And you kind of talk yourself in circles, like, that seems harsh, that seems too final. But I got to the point where I had to choose, and I sent her a text basically telling her how I felt, and I just deleted her contact information, and that was it. The funny thing is, Okay, so I've never felt better. Okay, I am the healthiest I've ever been. I'm the happiest I've ever been. There is some part of me that's guilty, okay? Like, I have 2 young kids now. They're not going to see her, right? There's guilt there. And I do have days where I feel bad that I go, oh, well, she is all by herself. All of that is her choice. It's her choice to be that way. It's her choice to be alone. It's her choice to not want to work on herself. And I know she's not going to, because she doesn't think she's done anything wrong. You need to go no contact because they will never change. Okay, this is the point where you have to understand this. They don't see what they do as wrong, okay? And until you do what is right for you, you're just going to be miserable because they're going to just continue to pull you down, okay? So here's the crazy part. I finally decided to go no contact and I can breathe, like truly breathe for the first time in my life. I'm like, okay, there's no going back now. You did it. My addiction grabbed me and pulled me down so hard and so fast. It was astounding. I had struggled with food addiction in my past. I talked about my weight gain growing up and then my eventual weight loss. I started drinking so heavily and it got bad very quickly. And it got to the point where I woke up one day and I knew that if I didn't change, that I was going to kill myself from drinking, that I just probably would not wake up one day. And I went to AA. I've been sober for 3 years. But that experience, I needed that. I needed to fall to my rock bottom. Okay, so here's the point I'm trying to make. Having my mom in my life meant that no matter what I would go through, addiction-wise, I'd be enabled. I'd be enabled to continue to stay in my addiction because it meant that I would stay with her. Getting away from her, falling to my own rock bottom and climbing back out on my own with my wife's help, I'm a new person. I can't express to you how important this step was for me. Scary, frustrating, but necessary. My healing only began when I hit my rock bottom and decided to climb out myself. That's what I encourage you to do. Not slip into a depressive drinking spiral. No. I encourage you to go no contact so that way you can start to heal in whatever fashion that may be. But you're not going to know how to heal from the true pains, you're not going to know what it is that you're going through truly until you get away from these people who enable you to be the worst version of yourself. Get away, start to heal, and start to live life. So that's what I got for you today. Thank you so much for being here, for listening. If you'd like to share, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to share what your rock bottom was and how you got out, I'd love to hear about it. If you are experiencing it right now and need some support, please let me know. I'll help any way I can. Thank you guys so much. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.